Hey everyone, I'm sitting down with my good friend and elder at my church, Lucius Malcolm, and Lucius has recently written a book on the fear of God, so we want to introduce that to you today. And so let's start, Lucius. How did you come up with this topic?
Okay, well, here is the cover on the book, and it actually speaks about the topic, the cover does. But one day I was just having a regular quiet time reading scripture and came across the verse that said, "Teach me the fear of the Lord." And so out loud, I asked myself the question, do I really want to do that? To ask God to teach me the fear of the Lord? And it was a bit of a scary moment because I one time had asked God to teach me patience, and that was not an enjoyable experience. So I took this with great intrepidation and waited several weeks and kept thinking about it and finally realized, yes, I do want God to teach me the fear of the Lord. And that turned into 10 lessons on the fear of the Lord.
So can you talk a little bit about some of the figures? These are historical figures.
Right.
People say characters, but historical figures in Scripture that you drew your lessons from.
Yeah. The main one, which again is reflected on the book, is Abraham. This is a Rembrandt original, and it shows Abraham in the midst of killing his own son, which is what God actually asked him to do, his only son. And so at the end of all this, and when the angel pulls his arm back, God speaks again and says, "Now I know that you fear me." So that's one of the greatest lessons in the book about the fear of the Lord. Another character that comes to life in Scripture and is a real guy, Nebuchadnezzar. Most people have heard of King Nebuchadnezzar and his battle with fearing God and his statement of his greatness and how wonderful he is, and that look at all that he has done, and then God puts him out to pasture. And you'll learn about that in the book. That's an actual psychological thing that happens to people, now called boanthropy. And then the third major person that I represent here is King David, of course. And David had many lessons in the fear of the Lord, and the most dramatic and traumatic was the loss of a son and what that did to him and how that changed his life. So you'll learn about all three of those as well as quite a few others in the book.
That sounds great. So any final comments?
So there is a warning on the back of the book. And the warning says, "These lessons are not for the faint-hearted, but for those who want to experience spiritual growth in their walk with God." And I'm going to emphasize that again. I wouldn't be surprised if you bought the book and got halfway through and put it down, because it is very challenging, and in some places it's overwhelming. In fact, this morning, to prepare for this, I read another chapter in it, and it was like I'd never written it, like I'd never seen it before. And so be prepared, and I hope that you will order it, and my brother here will tell you how to get it.
Yeah, so the book is available on Amazon, and you can also find it at akachristianpublishing.com. So that's akachristianpublishing.com. So check it out.
Thank you so much.